chim nó mày ghê quá. Vô. Này.
Nặng quá không được.
Ê, gì bắt phải chừng chim nha.
Nè, thầy ăn này không nè? Thầy, chip nè. Không?
Không. Well.
Chim nó mày ghê quá. Vô. Này.
Nặng quá không được.
Ê, gì bắt phải chừng chim nha.
Nè, thầy ăn này không nè? Thầy, chip nè. Không?
Không. Well.
During the gold rush, few succeeded. George Hearst was a skilled miner and geologist and became one of America's richest men with investments in Comstock silver, Anaconda copper, and Homestake gold mines. But he never mined in this region. George Hearst bought. He had married Phoebe Ackerson Hearst in 1862, and their only child Willie was born in 1863. Are descendants from Mr. Hearst's original herd, still roaming these hills and mingling with the cattle. Originally, this land was home to Native Americans of the Chumash and Salinan peoples, who lived there for over 9,000 years. It was claimed by William Morgan, whose firm was located in San Francisco. Hearst was overheard walking into Miss Morgan's office and announcing he was tired of camping in tents. I'm getting a little old for that. I'm thinking of building a little something. Well, his little something became this estate of more than 165 rooms, and he chose to build it on the hill which had served as his family's original campsite. Julia Morgan's first challenges were to make a road from the old bridle path, and also to bring water from the natural springs that were located on a mountain almost 6 miles east of this hilltop. To this day, water provided to the estate comes from the same 1.5 million gallon reservoir built by Miss Morgan and Mr. Hearst in the 1930s. Some of it is stored in tanks atop the castle's bell towers. You may also glimpse a 16 million gallon reservoir recently built by the Hearst Corporation to provide water for the current family ranch operation. The Mediterranean climate of this region brings hot, dry summers and cool, wet winters, a perfect setting for the native oak trees known as coastal live oaks, or Quercus agrifolia. These are the large trees we pass, which have spreading low branches, small dark green leaves, and rough brown bark. Mr. Hearst and Miss Morgan designed the road to wind around the trees, some of which are more than 300 years old. On the hilltop, they sited the buildings around the oaks, and occasionally even moved a massive oak out of the way as the castle grew. You'll notice the hillsides are also covered with grasses. With the winter rains, these grasses turn a rich green. In the summer and fall, they change color to a golden brown. Mr. Hearst filled these pastures with his exotic zoo animals. In his day, guests traveling this road with
But he inherited the land. He just built it. So anyway, good afternoon. My name's Andy. On behalf of California State Parks, welcome to Hearst Castle. And your stay up here is divided into two parts. The first part, roughly the next hour, we're going to spend together. And we're like the ticket says, we're Heasth Library. There's about 4,000 books, and at one time housed the world's largest private collection of ancient Greek vases. There's about 150 pieces left, and they range in age from about 2,200 to 2,000. At its peak, Hearst had 28 newspapers across the country, and that's by the early 1930s. He had a 25% circulation share on the newspaper. Made him very influential. You know, that was way before the internet and Facebook and all that. And he also had 8 radio stations. He had 13 magazines, including titles such as Cosmopolitan, Good Housekeeping, syndication services. For example, King Feature, still owned by the Hearst Corporation today, founded in 1914 by William Randolph Hearst. And if any of you are familiar with Popeye, that his 90th birthday is February, or other cartoons like Blondie or Felix the Cat or Betty Boop, those are all cartoons whose distribution rights are still owned by the Hearst Corporation, started by Hearst in 1914. So that's what he's doing to make a living, so to speak. And so much so that his architect, Julie Morton, she said, her client suffers from changeableness of mind. Many examples of that. We'll talk briefly about the outdoor.
Cool. Yeah, super cool.
Chỉ đứng trên đây nhìn thôi hả? Không biết ông biết rồi.
So, Hearst wanted to have a lily pond here with a rose garden initially. Decided to leave the pool to provide for kids in the idea. And he did the pool over 3 times before he got it right. First pool was a relatively small square. Second one was the size of the inner oval that you see in the tile pattern down the bottom. And as you see, the 3rd time the charts. And that's just one example of many up here that we have achieved.
Đi theo dẫn trình.
Why does Hearst build something that looks like a church but isn't? Did they cover that? They did? Well, he wasn't a churchgoer, he wasn't Catholic. What he's doing, he's building a showcase for his mostly Spanish and Italian, watch the card behind you, Spanish and Italian Renaissance and Gothic art collection. And to do that, he's putting together a theme. He's recreating, at least symbolically, a Mediterranean village you might find on the hillside in Spain. And the biggest, most dominant building in the center of those towns.
Cái này vừa quay vừa chụp, vừa quay vừa chụp luôn. Chẳng làm thấy thứ đẹp tôi chụp luôn. Thơm quá hả? Bông thơm quá trời đất nè. Đẹp quá ha. Trời đã ha, cái này Vinh bà Nhu là thuộc lại hàng cháu chắc rồi ha. Vinh bà Nhu thuộc hàng cháu chắc cái này luôn ha. Đúng không? Vinh bà Nhu ở Đà Lạt mà thuộc hàng cháu chắc cái này luôn. Ồ, quá đẹp luôn. Ô, ngày xưa
Ủa,
chắc
cái
không
gì
được
ngồi
đẹp
chút
quá.
xong trở hình chụp hình ta.
Ô, đẹp quá nè, về chụp đi đó nè.
Chụp hình. Rác ra. Giờ mình đi ra ổ nè.
Ô, quá đẹp nè.
Cái này cái gì ăn được mà.
Ăn được á. Cái này giống như là cái
Thì nó đây là trà trồng ăn mà.
Very rarely do you get so lucky. There are a few large parties every close to 100 people, but typically it was 10, 15, 20, somewhere in there. They come up for the weekend, and then I go back. Careful not touching the. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, what you're looking at here, it's not a bathtub, it's not a watering trough. It's supposed to be a sarcophagus. Sarcophagi where the ancient Greeks and Romans buried their dead, and other cultures were very collectible at one time, and is often the case when the art market has something that's in high demand, they get very creative in meaning